This is Sniper signing in to Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 on the map, Fire Island. Spawning on the top side as the Red Allies player, this is m8sPik4a, representing Team Mates and his opponent. Spawning as the Green Empire player on the south side, going for some of those dojos, this is Proffloff. Also from Mates, I believe, if I remember properly. I believe he's from Mates. I can't quite recall right about now. That information escapes my mind. But back to the game. Attack Dog is coming out. One laser locking javelin. Already going to be heading out. Probably to just, yeah, I guess he is just going to go ahead and destroy this oil derrick. Just so it cannot be claimed by Proffloff. Proffloff's trying to group up these dojos, but wait a minute. That explosion's going to, well. Yeah, I don't think Proffloff expected that explosion to happen. Scratch one dojo core, and this other dojo is just gonna get camped. Yep. Stunned by the dog instantaneously. And I think he would have done better just to sell that off immediately, and then just chance running the Imperial Warrior straight after that attack dog. That I think would have gone a little bit better for him. Group of infantry coming out from m8sPik4a gonna be zoning out these dojos completely. Oh man, looks like he lost one of them, and the other one is too heavily damaged to really do anything. one elite Imperial Warrior gonna just kind of be chilling on over here. Oh, it looks like m8sPik4a is gonna be rocking out that engineer. Gonna go see about capturing this oil derrick since he kind of blew this one up. Gonna be chasing away. Run! Run, Steve! I'm gonna call him Steve. That's totally not a Japanese name, but I'm gonna call him Steve. Run, Steve, run! You can do it! I believe in you! Those peacekeepers could have wasted Steve right there. Oh, well, bye, Steve. You done goofed, Steve. You done got goofed. Good job, Steve. Mecha Tengu coming over. Is that Tengu? I'm gonna call him Bob. Can Bob get the engineer? Is Bob gonna get the engineer? Nope. Oh, Bob came close, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and Bob did not have a hand grenade. He only had the two little auto guns, and there, yeah, rip Bob. Rip Bob, and now this line of peacekeepers, they're gonna run into this dojo core. Could be, Proffloff could use it as a crush core if he really wanted to, but PKs, well, stutter step micro's a thing. And they could just stutter step their way backwards, and then that'd be rip dojo core. Two Mecha Tengu's gonna be trying to force out a little bit of micro on these PKs. Gonna be forcing them. Tengu's just decide to just go ahead and fall back. Nice micro right there, coming out from Proffloff, switching up the Tengu's straight into jet mode just enough to dodge the bombs from the Vindicator, and also very nice air control from m8sPik4a here. Very, very nice indeed. Does get one Apollo fighter very heavily damaged, but he's able to slip that back to base. I see what Proffloff was trying to do there. Proffloff was trying to use his Tengus, like fly in and out, like in and behind the Apollo fighters, trying to make them turn, I guess, right? But the problem is, Apollo fighters have very good turning capabilities. Like, they handle really well in the sky. Like, there's a reason why they're the best one-on-one fighter in the game. Now, of course, like I mean, they may be the best one-on-one, but if you get them in mass, Tengus, I think, take the win. The MiGs are just kind of like the awkward cousin between, in what are, in my opinion, you know, the two main air-to-air fighters beating the Jet Tengu and the well, Dave, well, Dave just got shot. He took a shotgun shell right up his anus. That looked very painful. Third and fourth refineries coming out from m8sPik4a. That's going to put him firmly in the eco lead. And just insult to injury. Multi-gunner turret comes on down. Is going to be keeping this expansion safe and secure. Harassment does go down. One prospector already biting the dust. Another prospector forced off the line is under attack now. Loses another Tengu for it. This Tengu is more than likely going to die as well. All m8sPik4a needs to do is just park an Apollo fighter over it and just drop some Vindicator bombs. That's about it. These PKs still managing to hold the line just for the sake of slowing him down, of slowing down Proffloff and any advances he tries to make. Where's his MCV? He sold his MCV. That engineer, that engineer Dave, engineer Dave that was shot over here, that was the engineer from his MCV. Now Proffloff is down in MCV. has a small air wing of Tengus, only what, like 6? Only 6 Tengus versus 2 Apollo fighters in the sky. So 6 Tengus can overwhelm the Apollo fighters. No question about it. They can overwhelm the Apollos, but yeah, no, here comes the boot camp, and here comes the Javi train. The Javi train is coming. And with these Javis, see, here they come. They're going to force these Tengus to take an engagement they don't want to take. They're going to force them into action because the Javelins will inevitably shoot. Either they're going to damage or shoot down all of the Tengus. And now there's only 4 of them in the sky. Granted, he does take down 1 Apollo fighter, but these Javelin Jibbers are just hammering away. They're shooting down Tengu after Tengu after Tengu. And Proffloff behind this, that stings. Like a couple of pixels. He has that prospector's got a couple of pixels. This Tengu realizes it now, goes over and finishes the job. But there's no way. Proffloff has 3 Tengus, 2 Tengus now, 1 Tengu now. Proffloff has no army. He has 1 Mecha Tengu. That's going to be GG. There's no way Proffloff can pull this off. I mean, he's a talented player, but I don't think anybody can really come back from this. I don't know. Maybe I'm calling it early, but he did get the T2 switch up, so I would not be shocked at all. These are some Striker VXs coming out. Striker VX is heading onto the map, but that's his only unit. That is his only unit right now. We're looking at 4 ref to 2, about to be 1. 4 ref to 1, and yep. There it is. And the nice little destruction animation on that generator. I like that. I really like that. I mean, it's a little thing added in with the modded map, but that's still very nice indeed. Very, very nice little touch. I mean, there it is. Pik4a just running the eco lead. Proffloff had a very linear type growth in his economy, while Pik4a had more of an exponential leaning type of growth. Well, perhaps, maybe not as exponential, but just higher coefficient linear growth, which at this point for a 6-minute and 54-second game, that is a substantial difference. 23,000 ore compared to 16,000, roughly 17,000 ore, 10,000 or 1,000 ore more per minute. That is a substantial difference. And it just goes to show that Pik4a was able to just kind of run circles around Proffloff that game. I think Proffloff should not have sold his MCV. I think that he should. I think what really did it, he invested really hard into the dojos early, and just didn't really do anything with them. Like he couldn't make the magic happen like I think he may have liked to have done. And because of that, he was probably in a bit of an eco hole, just trying to make up the difference. But since that didn't really happen, Pik4a was able to just out expand and just run circles around him. But GG, well played to both of these players. And I forgot to mention, this is from the King of the Hill series, so as a result, this is the end of game number 1. So let's jump straight into game number 2, which brings us to the map not Fire Island. Wow, Infinity Isle. This brings us to the map Infinity Isle, spawning on the left side, currently up 1-0 as the Red Allies player. This is m8sPik4a. And his opponent spawning as the Yellow Empire player on the right side. This is Proffloff. This is totally not Fire Island. This is Infinity Isle. Oh my, oh my. Let's just hope this iteration of the recording goes better, because I tried recording this already, or this game in particular, and I'm guessing my game crashed. My game crashed or something. My screen just kind of froze up. I had it happen. I think I've had it happen on my Xbox before. Yeah, I believe I've had that sort of glitch happen on my Xbox before. The screen freezes up, one audio file gets kind of breaks and just runs just repeatedly. I had to basically force shut off my computer, but everything's all nice and good. I was kind of a little panicky when it first happened, but it's all good now. PK's coming back out from Pik4a. PKs are definitely a solid choice. What are we gonna see coming out from this? Are we gonna see? What's he building? Whatever it was, he just placed it. It was another power plant. He might have been low on power. Are we going to see an armor facility? I think an armor facility would combo very well against what Proffloff is currently going for with his mass infantry play. Or, I mean, an airfield, if you wanted to go for an airfield, get a T2 switch up, which, yeah, based on the location of these walls, that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be an airfield coming out. I would not be surprised whatsoever if maybe perhaps we saw a T2 switch up. If we had T2 coming out from the outlet. Nope, he's just going to go ahead and move the MCV. Probably he's going to go ahead and pack it up, move it out to the water, grab that third ref, because Proffloff has already captured his third ref up on the land. But the difference is, now his m8sPik4a's oil derrick is under attack from all these Imperial Warriors. But these Imperial Warriors, they don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance against a horde of PKs. They can run in with the bonsai charge, but then if that happens, there you go. Riot shields come out, and now it's just a matter of waiting until they get off of this until they get off the cooldown. Yeah, okay, bye, buddy. Bulk. That was Steve's cousin Alfred. Alfred just got whacked by a couple shotguns. Well, actually, by a lot of shotguns. He's got whacked. Airfield has now formally been spotted by Proffloff. Knows what's coming. Does take 2 Vindicator bombs to drop a single Imperial Warrior. It seems a little odd, you know, a bomber taking 2 bombs to drop an infantry dude. But you know, run for your life. Oh, you didn't run fast enough. You didn't run fast enough, buddy. Sorry, but you done got. Tengu Flight headed out, most likely gonna see about getting some harassment done and trying to slow down the eco of his opponent. If they go back out to the water, which based on their trajectory, that is where they are going. Gonna go straight out to the water, and this Prospector, rip Prospector. That thing is as good as dead. There is no hope of really saving it, I don't think. Vindicator is still flying around. They're chasing this one Tengu here because this one they can actually save. This is the Honorable Discharge is going to take a fair sizable chunk out of that thing's health. Tengus, they're kind of wasting their time, sort of kind of. I mean, I guess they're forcing out the repairs on the refineries. That's just a little bit of extra money that is not going to be in Pik4a's pockets. This defender turret already coming in handy. It slapped it down for a little bit of static AA, given how the first game went. But the strength of the Empire, you're able to just straight out convert their AA turrets to be ground mode. And one crushing tank just comes on out. And nice scatter moves though from Pik4a. Gonna be sending out 3 PKs back towards Proffloff. Just to get a little bit more scouting off. Looks like T2 switch up did come out already, so Striker VX is already taking the scene. And wow, I'm surprised. These Tengus are still attacking the refinery. Now, I don't think they're going to be able to get it, as I think even with the Honorable Discharge on this last Tengu, I don't think there's going to be enough damage there for them to really finish it off. It's not quite. Tsunami Tank just being annoying, just rolling up, being like, hey man, I don't like you, I'm going to shoot you. Bleh. And just drives through the middle, just drives right by the con yard. Pik4a is just like, sup, bruh. Is that going to be enough? No, it is not going to be enough. I'd wager one more Honorable Discharge explosion would have been enough to finish that refinery. If all 4 Tengus had stuck around instead of just the 3, I think they would have been able to get it, and that would have been scratch 1 refinery. Cryocopters are indeed out. D2 switch up. Did he have 2 airfields? No, he sold his first airfield just so he can get a closer deployment, closer to the front lines for his current airfield. Gonna go for some Cryocopter Vindicator harassment, and those strikers are gonna be coming in very much handy for dealing with these aircraft. Now, one thing that a lot of players in general, whenever you're Soviets or Empire, if you're fighting, he missed. Oh, Pik4a, he mistimed it. He mistimed the freeze, but that's because he is being pressured on his front line, and he sees them coming. Oh, he sees this push coming, and this Cryocopter, I don't think it can actually survive. Oh, it's going to be close. Nope. Tengu does come in and finish it off, but there's another Cryocopter already here. But these Tsunami Tanks, Imperial Warriors, and 1 Tank Buster are already doing the damage. The MCV, I think, is going to go down. Honorable Discharge is going to help it, and down goes the MCV. Is there an armor facility? No, there's not. He has aircraft. Pik4a has whatever infantry are left and aircraft, and that's it. There's no more hope for an MCV, no more hope for expansions. He can still tech up though. He can wheel across, which he's already doing. Well, actually, he may have done that just because this Tsunami Tank was here and was doing some harassment on it, or he might have just gone ahead and deployed this so he can upgrade this command hub, or the soon-to-be command hub, to stage 2. Or to tier 2, so that he can keep producing those Cryocopters. Very nice play, very solid play from m8sPik4a. You're going to want to make sure he's very careful about what he loses, though. is his power plants are in very vulnerable positions. One power plant, I'd wager, could keep this running, I think. Yeah, I think I'd wager this one power plant would be enough to keep everything up here on the ridge running and online. Other than that though, I don't really see it. I don't really see, being able to keep up with it, keep anything else up and running. Elite Vindicator, I have to keep an eye on that, see if it goes heroic, which I believe it is going to. This cryocopter, once it freezes down one of these collectors, no, target the harvesting collector. Targeting the collector that's on security mode, but I guess since he does have three bombs, it doesn't make that. It makes one load of ore worth of difference, or the difference is made in the form of one load of ore. There we go, and there's the heroic status on that Vindicator, going to be auto healing back up as it flies back to that airfield. MCV having to go for that crush, passing. The elite Javelin Trooper passing off that elite status in the form of a veteran status over to that Mecha Tengu. Anti-air is coming along for Proffloff. I think as soon as Proffloff recognizes that he's up against an only air allied player. Oh my. Well, all these things are stacking. All those cryocopters just stacked, but the shrink beams are on point. Wow, this is gonna happen. And now he's out of power. Proffloff's out of power. Did this happen to Proffloff earlier in the series as well? I believe this happened earlier in the series as well. I think it did. Proffloff's down 2-0. 2-0 in favor of Pik4a. Very nicely played. I think we've seen that happen once before on the channel. That was, I believe, Industrial Strength. It occurred on Industrial Strength, and he was up against, was it Andre? I think he was playing Andre earlier in the King of the Hill Challenge series, and Andre was in the same situation. He just went for mass cryocopter, a few scattered infantry here and there, and just that one Vindicator bomber, and just made it work. he made the victory happen. And look, this Proffloff was actually ahead for a good bit of that game, albeit not by a very large margin, but he was actually ahead a little bit on eco. But by the end of the game, that did wind up balancing back out because it was 4-ref to 3. So as such, Pik4a did wind up taking the ultimate advantage. But that doesn't make all that big of a difference. 828 totals, even the average income per minute, only a 200 ore difference. Really, that just came down to unit positioning. Look at these KD ratios here for the units of each commander. 2.86 versus a 0.3. That is just all about positioning and unit preservation. And one can make the argument that the Imperial units are not quite as strong as the Allied unit, as their Allied counterparts, which that does have some merit, but all the same, those kinds of losses are not easy to sustain over a long period of time, which is the exact situation that Proffloff was forced into. So that will conclude game number 2. So let's jump into game number 3. Which brings us to the map Industrial Strength, spawning in the upper right corner as the Red Allies player, currently running a 2-0 victory lap. This is Pik4a. And his opponent, Proffloff, looking to make some wonky little plays here in the exhibition third show match, because that's basically what it is. As the Green Empire player, this is Proffloff. Proffloff gonna be possibly going in for some wonkier type strats, or at least if I were in his position, that's what I would do. If I were in his position, I would very much take the approach of, what haven't I done before? What kind of all-in have I not done before, but it just might work? I'm going to try something. Is at this point in the series, it's a series of 3 games, and if you, in the King of the Hill, if you lose 2, of course, then, the title's already been decided, and that's just basically that. But since the third game is called for, it just makes for an interesting little show match, a little exhibition match, is what I really think it is. It's a fun thing to watch. And Proffloff, as we can see, just the infantry madness is just going back and forth. Okay, a little piece of a building like glitched out up here in the sky. That's a little odd, but Pik4a already wasted. Hello. There it is. Guys, I think the map broke. The map, this Javelin Trooper broke the map. Oh, well, it's going to slowly sink back into the ground because that's what stuff in Red Alert 3 does. It just sinks into the ground. Burst Drone just slowing down that mining time a little bit, ever so slightly. Riptide or Multi-Gunner IFV, is the engineer going to hop in? He's going to force fire the ground. No, PK is going to hop in. Engineer, David, Dan? I already called a guy Dave. I already gave an engineer named Dave, so I'm going to call this one Dan. Dan has been spotted. Can these Imperial Warriors catch him? Not likely. No, I do not believe that they can. Something just killed that PK. Oh, it's probably has something to do with a swarm of green Imperial infantry. And, oh, Proffloff, you're going to want to mass up your infantry. Mass them up, because these multi-gunner IFVs, they could just pick at this army all day long. Front, back, side, and all around. These multi-gunner IFVs are definitely a hard counter to the infantry coming out from Proffloff. What else has Proffloff got going for him? Is that a fast T2? Yes, it is. That is indeed a fast T2 switch up. Where is the MCV? There it is. Pik4a running for that expansion, not going to go for T2 himself. So Proffloff does have this technological advantage right now. If some tsunami tanks start coming out, then that's going to be GG on these multi-gunner IFVs. And there's one tsunami tank, but it's kind of derping out going to the middle. Oh, but he has the garage. He does indeed have a garage. So now this fight is going to be ever so much in the favor of Pik4a. As we can see, that garage, just look at the kind of repairs this thing does. It just does these little chunks of repairs. I think it repairs something like, just by eyeballing the little health bar, maybe something like 1/15 or 1/20th of its maximum health per tick, I think, in repairs. Or at least that's the number that I'm going to throw out there for that multi-gunner IFV. I really have no idea what the exact number is. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, since I don't know, just kind of taking a guess. Airfield coming out from Pik4a. Good, does establish that third refinery. But now these tsunami tanks are just kind of going to roll in here. They're just going to roll on in and be like, hey, what's up? What's up, guys? How you doing? Multi-gunner IFVs, though, getting some rear armor shots off on this collector. Going to have to go for the MCV crush. That's really the only shot he's got right now. Does get one of them crushed. Tsunami tank closing in on another one. Gonna keep that collector alive, actually. That's very nice, keeping that collector alive and up and running. Mecha Tengu's coming in to start filling the gaps. 3 more tsunami tanks already rolling into the base. Is he planning on building something there? So, I mean, normally if you're just trying to wall off for the purpose of stalling, you would just build on like straight, you wouldn't leave, any space inside. Oh, maybe that's why. And then now he could wall that off? No? Okay. Well, Pik4a was gonna try to run away. He's gonna try to run his harvester away, but that didn't quite happen. Heroic Javelin Trooper. Oh, it does wind up going down because of that honorable discharge. Be like, ah! Kaboom. Kaboom goes the honorable discharge. Mecha Tengu. Multi-gunner IFV's gonna be forced away thanks to the combined firepower of this. Oh, he did lose the refinery. I was kind of wondering about that. I was wondering, wait a minute, why is that collector over there? Well, he lost the refinery. He most definitely lost that ref. It's going to make things all the more difficult for Proffloff. Down. Oh, there's the MCV cell. There it is. The MCV cell happened. The engineer is walking out. He's just literally walking. I think Proffloff's in a very similar situation to the one he was in on game number 1. Game number 1, 6 Tengus, almost the exact same army comp too. 7 Tengus and a tsunami tank versus everything that Pik4a has. Now, granted, these Tengus, where'd they go? There they are. Yeah, those Tengus, they could theoretically. Look at that engineer running for his life. And boop, there he goes. And boop, there goes the tsunami tank. Oil derrick's going to get focused down here by this garrison. Is that the MCV? Yes, that is the MCV out onto the water, but it looks like he has forgotten about it, at least for the time being. Those multi-gunner IFVs, are they going to be able to get away? I believe so. They're going to get away just fine because they are ever so much faster than those Mecha Tengus. So as soon as those Tengus shift their fire onto the multi-gunner IFVs, they can just turn and burn and just drive away. I mean, that's all they really need to do. Imperial Warriors trying to return the favor to destroy this oil derrick, but Proffloff, I think, Proffloff's slipping into dire straits again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's going to be low power. That was his only generator. Proffloff is now sitting on low power. Pik4a wants to end it. He wants to end it. He wants to come in and end it. Proffloff is trying to get the surround off on these multi-gunner IFVs. It looks like he's going to get a decent surround off. He does wind up getting 3 for them, but I just don't think it really matters all that much. He's down an MCV. I can't, because of its low power right now, I do not think this is an MCV that is building. It would be building so much more slowly if this was an MCV. I believe this is probably just going to be another Tengu. Or, no, it's going to be a Tsunami tank. But sitting on that low power mode with only one ref. One ref makes it, oh my lord. Good golly goodness. Pik4a is running away with the game. 5 ref to 1. 5 refs against 1 ref. Oh man. The eco is real. Man. Pik4a. You playing super greedy, but you can do it. And then again, if I were in his position, or if any player was in the position he is currently in, mass expanding would be a very good idea, very much so in his interest. I wonder, is he just going to go straight for the kill outright? Because frankly, I believe that yes, even though Proffloff does have this cloud of Tengus, and he can do some very magical things with the cloud of Tengus, I don't really think he's going to be able to pull it together against, you know, everything else that Pik4a has going for him, right? And there go the Vindicator bombers, all just pre-targeted onto each individual Imperial warrior. They're trying to go for that garage, but now, yeah, now there it goes. Tengus have spotted the sea expansion, but really, what are they gonna do about it? Airfield already. Is that another airfield? Yes, he does. He has 2 airfields worth of aircraft. This prospector, I think, is probably going to go down. Yes, indeed it is. Oh, no, it's maybe. No, it's not. Maybe not. It needs to start shooting. He needs to shoot it. I think Proffloff can out DPS the repair drones. I see some red combat going on over in Proffloff's base. His only collector just went down. Oh, that's bad. His only collector, let's say the garage in the center did wind up going down to some Tsunami tanks. The only collector in the center of the map, or the only collector for Proffloff did go down. 3 Vindicators go off as a trade. No, that's not the only collector. He still has one. He still has a collector. Proffloff is not done yet. He is not done quite yet. Oh, gonna be engaging on these Apollo fighters. 2 Apollo fighters already go down. Can he get a third? Oh, he gets a third. He gets a Vindicator. There's only 1 Apollo left. 1 Vindicator and 1 Apollo. That's it. That's all he's got. He's going to go straight for the transform and go for the eco harass. Oh, but every time you transform, he needs to go for that Vindicator, because that Vindicator guarantees him a kill with each bombing run. Because these Tengus are not strong enough to weather a group of 3 Vindicator bombs just like that. One bombing run equals a dead Tengu, and that is... Proffloff's down to 2 structures. He has 2 structures. Proffloff's just going all in. He's got to get a kill here. He's got to make something happen. And I'm not entirely convinced it can work. I mean, he's got naval units, or his units, since he's the Empire, can go out onto the water and handle naval units. But with just some assault destroyers or Riptide ACVs, that would very quickly be shut down. But all of that is not even going to be necessary. The Apollo fighters completely clean up the jet tankers, and now the Vindicators can just simply bomb the remaining Tsunami tanks straight on out of existence. 3 Tsunami tanks left. 1 Tengu back at base. There's nothing really left for Proffloff to work with. So I think we will be seeing a GG tap out here very, very soon. Vindicators dropping their bombs out. Only 1 remains. Imperial Warrior does get crushed. And now all of Cryoblast comes through. Oh, Pik4a needs to pay attention before that runs out. And if he gets that refinery, it is as good as done. Yes, indeed it is. It's over. Now only down to 1 Mecha Bay and 1 unit. It looked like for a second there that heroic Riptide ACV was actually going to win, but that is not going to be the case. Does he have money? No, I do not believe that he does. 1 heroic Mecha Tengu. He's fighting for the end, but no, he couldn't quite maintain it, as the Apollo fighters and the Vindicators would have surely been on their way shortly thereafter. Well then, that is the series. Proffloff getting it was nuts. Pik4a was not quite that nice to Proffloff in that series, but still very well played from these players. There were some definite micro fails that happened from either side. I think in game number 2, one that really stuck out to me from Proffloff was the okay, the second one. One that really got stuck out to me was that when he engaged the Allied Air Force, when at this point Pik4a only had his airfield just down to a bunch of Cryocopters and one Vindicator and Apollo fighters. He engaged straight up, lost all of his strikers, and then from there just got all of his stuff frozen and had to tap out. I think that is what. Oh my goodness. Oh, this eco. Look at this eco. Just spiraled out of control. Just absolutely spiraled out of control with this eco. Absolutely so much money. 11 minutes and 14 seconds compared. Oh my goodness. 20,000 to 47,000. That I think is the biggest eco deficit I think I have ever seen in a multiplayer, in a one-on-one multiplayer game of Red Alert 3. Absolutely massive. But another thing that I think Proffloff perhaps did a little too early, maybe wasn't the greatest decision per se in some of these games, was selling his MCV, right? He may have been strapped for cash, and he could have really probably needed the cash, which, I mean, yeah, I totally understand. Selling the MCV is a viable strategy in some circumstances. Just in those, I don't necessarily think it was the best circumstance or the best option, but in the situations Proffloff was in, I think he was really in kind of a lose-lose situation. It's like, okay, do I keep my MCV, try to go for a ref, but then leave myself open with no money, or do I sell my MCV, try to get more units out and fight back, but then have no money after? So if I don't kill him, then, you know, I'm SOL. You know, you're in trouble either way. You just kind of, it's just risk versus reward. It's like you're rolling the dice at a crap table, and you just gotta hope that the dice roll your way. If they do, great. If they don't, then, you know, you're in a corner and you're in a hole. There's not really too much else you can be done, but still, GG to both these players, and very nicely done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. And this is Sniper, signing out.